Hi guys, Max from ODX, and on today's workshop we're going to show you how the ODX switch works and how it's set up. The ODX switch is a solid state relay activated by Bluetooth directly, so it could be controlled by your app on your cell phone, but it's also one of the first device that is controllable by the CarPlay app or the Android Auto app from your OEM screen in your car. So you can actually control any 12-volt source from your OEM screen without having to drill or to pass any wires through the firewall. So the first thing you want to do is download our ODX Switch app, available onto the Apple Store and Android Auto Store, the Google Store actually. And then you'll need to pair your cell phone to your Switch device. How it's done, you go into the app. At the bottom, there's a connection tab. You click on connection and then connect your Switch. Before starting, please ensure the Bluetooth is enabled on your phone. Obviously, if the Bluetooth's not turned off, when it's the first time you're installing a Switch device, it's going to ask you for permission to use your Bluetooth. So just click OK in order for the cell phone to connect with the Switch device. Then once you're ready, click Ready, and it already looks for all the Switches device available around the area. And as you can see, you can click on that one here, and it's already paired. Next step. You want to name that relay, because if you're installing more than one relay on a car or in a marine or application or any application, you want to make sure you know which one you want to control. So for that one, I'll name it horn. So let's call it horn. That way it's going to be easier for you to just know which relay you're triggering or you're managing. So once the name is done, it's available up to 25 characters, so you can name it the way you want. It's not a big deal. And then once it's done, now I already have 4 switches set up on my my device. But if you want to set up a new one, let's say you want to go get the horn that we just created, you'll be looking for the horn. Next step, choose your icon. As you can see, we got a bunch of different icons. We're always going to be updating some. So it goes from stereo to trunk, wheel ring, record. It could be lock, unlock, heated seats. Like anything you think of, it's something that we're going to be able to upload on our app. So let's say the horn for that one. Then you'll want to select the mode. Right now, it's the beta app, so we're updating it each and every week, each and every day, I would say. So there's only 3 modes available for now, but as soon as the new modes are released, we're going to add them up to the app itself. So right now, we've got a toggle on and off, dimmer, and momentary. So let's say, since it's a horn, we're going to choose momentary. And then you want to name the output. So right now, like I said, we previously named the relay itself, but you want to name the output. How is it going to look like on your app? So let's call it horn again. And then you can test it. So if you want to, on the test side, you actually just click on the device and it just activates the switch right away. So if you want to test, let's say, a strobe pattern, a speed, like how dim you want the light to be, you can just test it right away. So at least you don't have to save, try it out, go back in, save, try it out, go back in. You just test it right away. If everything good, you end test. If you want to modify something, just go back in. You can still go back to test again. And once it's done, you confirm. Once it's confirmed, you see all your devices in manage. All of the setup is done through the app itself. There's nothing you can do through the CarPlay or Android Auto. Obviously, as a safety feature, the only options that are available are the one that you can only push the screen once and leave it. So the horn feature, as you can see, that was added on my app, is not showing up on my device, on my CarPlay device. The reason why, and it's made like it's just to make sure you're not going to hold your CarPlay screen. So all of the features that are compatible with the CarPlay will be on/off on when engine is running, time output. All of the one that you don't need to hold the screen are available on the CarPlay itself. Everything else, like the momentary, will be available on the app itself by itself only for now. When you go to control, control is really what mirrors onto the CarPlay app. So you'll see all your devices, and that's where you could actually light them up. So as you can see on the briefcase here, we've got like the windshield pods, taxi sign, bumper fog, headlights. And as you can also see on the CarPlay device, it sends a signal to your cell phone, either, well, cell phone and CarPlay screen, so you can see which one are lit up. So it doesn't matter if you turn them on with your app or your CarPlay, it both interconnects together, and you'll see like a two-way, you'll see if your device is light up or if the switch is light up. What's cool about the CarPlay is, let's say you've got two open, like the headlights in the windshield pod, and you're let's change it to bumper fog lights for a better example now. Windshield fogs and bumper fogs. Let's say you're driving at night with your Jeep and you've got all the lights open, obviously that are off-road use only, and you cross someone in the trails. You don't want to blind them. Instead of having to turn down each and every one manually, what you can do is there's a master switch. Let me turn them back on. So there's a master switch. So if you press the master, it actually closes all the devices that are on. The good thing about our master switch is it remembers exactly what was on previously. So if you click back on the master, it just goes back on to exactly where it was. So let's say the headlights and the taxi sign were on, then it just closes all of them. And when you click master switch, just go back on for all of them. As you can see, there's a small delay. There's a couple milliseconds delay in between when they're on and when they're going off. And you can see that they're not closing at the same time. The only reason why is we can't connect to each and every devices by Bluetooth at the same time. So when you're triggering something, even like if it's almost instantaneous, what it does is the app actually connects to the switch device that it's looking for, sends the trigger, receive the confirmation, and then logs back off. So it's not connected to any device at all time. It just pings the device, gets what it needs to do. It turns it on, turns it off, sends the confirmation back, and then it turns back off. So that's why there's a small delay in the on-off. Honestly, I don't think that's a big issue because I don't think people are going to install 10 of them in front of the vehicle. So most of the time, like at worst, you may have 3. But like I said, it's really a couple of milliseconds the delay in between each and every steps. Let's go through all the features that we have in the app. So all of these features are either available now or going to be available soon. And the good part about the Switch, since it's Bluetooth, when we're going to update any features or any new add-on modes, you're going to be able to update your app from your Apple Store or Google Play Store directly. And then we can wirelessly update your Switch device. You don't need to connect it to a Bluetooth, to USB connector or anything at all. It just goes through the air, update. As long as you've got access to your cell phone, your Bluetooth, it updates your Switch device to the new firmware. So all the features are the following. We've got the toggle on and off, which is an on and off switch. So you just turn on a light bar, turn it off. We got a toggle on when car's running. What that one does is, for example, you're installing, let's say, an amplifier on a boat and you don't have access to a remote wire because you don't want to run a remote wire from the front to the back to the amp or any reason like it. As soon as the engine is started, the switch is going to look for the voltage to the switch itself. And if the voltage goes higher than, let's say, 13.6, that's something you can set up into the device itself. I'll tell you about it a bit later. So as soon as it reaches the voltage, it knows that the engine's running, so it just activates the trigger of the switch. Same thing to turn it off. So we can set the high and the low voltage. So when you're reaching out the low voltage, let's say you turn it off and the battery goes back to 12.8 volts, right away, then it just turns it off. So that's the on when engine's running, which is a feature that's quite cool because if you don't have access to a key on source or engine on source, that's where you just want to tap in. It's one of the only device available for now that makes it. Then we've got the timed output. Timed output, you can set it up from 1 second to 15 minutes. It's really as you wish. So let's say you want to use it as a turbo timer and you want to keep your car running. You could use the 15 minutes to keep it running. If you want to use it for like an electric tonneau cover, you can just set it up. Let's say it takes 20 seconds to roll it up or roll it in or out. Then set it up to 22 seconds. You just trigger it once. It goes all the way in and trigger it another time, and it just go all the way back in, back out. Sorry. The other cool feature too is, let's say it takes 20 seconds to go fully in, fully out. You can set it up to 10 seconds. So it's just going to be halfway in, halfway out, depending what you need. There's also the momentary option, which is mainly used for horn, winches in, winch out. So that momentary feature, like I said previously, it's not available in CarPlay because you're not allowed to hold your screen while you're driving. But these are the momentary features available through your phone directly. Then we've got the speed activated. That's going to come by a little bit later on. That one looks at the GPS speed of your phone, and anywhere from 30 kilometers per hour or 18 miles per hour, depending where you are, you can select miles per miles or kilometers per kilometers from 18 miles per hour, 30 kilometers per hour, up to, let's say, 100, because that's the maximum limit everywhere. And you can trigger either on or off your device. So let's say you want to use flood fog lights and then spot fog lights, and you want the spot one to light up when you're riding faster, then you can just activate the spot ones according to the speed you want them to activate versus the flood that are always going to be on, or you want to turn them off. The features are going to be combinable. So you can say speed activated, toggle on and off. So you can match them together. It's pretty much like on our end, it's pretty much like an open source, right? We can do whatever we want. As long as we've got the IDs, the feedback, and like something great to add to, it can be done on our end. So you can merge pretty much like a lot of different options. Speed activated, toggle when car's running, and then toggle on and off. Everything's mixable. Then we've got the dimmer option. The difference between us and like some companies on the market right now that offers a relay. First of all, we are using a solid state relay. So a solid state are driven by transistors instead of a dry contact relay. You can't dim like a light bar, for example, with a regular dry contact relay. The only thing you can do is turn it on and off. On the opposite, when you have like us, the solid state, you can use the PWM, which is pulse width modulation, in order to drive the relay from the solid state relay from 0 to 100%. So let's say you want to dim your light bar at 50%, then you can choose 50%, and it will just give you like a dimmer output without flashing out the light bar. The other cool feature about our dimmer mode is we're not only adjusting the PWM, we can also adjust the frequency. So all of the light bars and all of the fog lights and most of the LEDs on the market, they're all working. Most of them are working on different hertz frequencies. So when we're gonna have we have some presets of hertz frequencies in our system. So you can choose either 60, 80 hertz, 180 hertz, depending what light bar you have. And when, I don't know if you remember, guys, but when you were in the test mode, you can see and test if your light flashes. So if it flashes, that means you're not on the right frequency. So you just change the frequency, try it back on, and as soon as it doesn't flicker anymore, then you can use the dimmer mode from 0 to 100%. Then we'll have the strobe mode. Strobe mode will be used as a strobe. So you can strobe pretty much any light source, as long as it drains 20 amps and less. So our relay is capable of driving 20 amps full time. We actually test them at a little bit over 20 amps, but like everybody, we just want to make sure like people are going to override it a little bit. So we're making sure at 20 amps, we're protected by a 20 amp fuse, and 20 amp is the maximum steady amp that you can drive from the switch itself. The strobe mode will have some pre-built features, like pre-built patterns. So you can, for example, SOS or triple flash, 4 flash, 1 flash. So there's going to be a bunch of different preset strobe options or mode in the system itself, and you can actually make one your own too. So there's like the time limit and the how fast you want it to strobe. The other feature that's not there, it's called iBeacon. iBeacon needs, as soon as your cell phone is going to be near the Bluetooth device, it can activate your output. So let's say you want to use your underglow, and as soon as you're getting near your car, let's say 5 feet from your car, you want your underglow to light up every time, then it will light up by itself. It's not made to do like an engine kill, but it could work as an engine kill. Like imagination's pretty much the limit you have right now. Because if you want to do, like let's say you want to kill your fuel pump for any reason, I wouldn't suggest that. But if you want to kill it, as soon as you're in with your cell phone, it just activates the relay and the power goes in. So it's a normally open solid state relay. So as soon as it connects to Bluetooth, closes it on, so you can actuate whatever device you want. Like I said, I wouldn't suggest to do like a starter kill. There's so many different options on the market to do a starter kill or like fuel pump kill or something, because you don't have any plan B. So if your cell phone's dead or it's broken, then you don't have access to start your vehicle unless you have access to where it is. But just to show you, just to give you an idea of where we can go and what you can do with it, that's mainly the point of why we're talking about the engine kill here. Overall, there's so many different options, so many different modes. As you can see on the screen, just upper there, the icons, we got like hundreds of icons that are available on our end. We are uploading new icons every day, every weeks. If you've got something, a new idea, you want to like chime in, just send us an email like, hey guys, I would like to have that like work light, rear, back facing, forward, whatever it is. We want to have like that specific icon. It's something we could do. So you'll just show up your actual icon on the CarPlay and on your app directly. And finally, the last feature I can show you today is we can do organized groups or create groups according to your needs. So let's say you've got 4 different switches installed on the vehicle, and you want to have like, let's say front bumper, windshield pods, and let's say rooftop light bar. Then you can group them together. There's 2 ways to make it work. Either you go onto the device mode and edit the device mode and choose group. Then you can all put them into the same group, or as a native like Apple, iPhone, or even Android, you can just click and hold the icon that you want to group with the other ones and slide it over. The same thing as you would do with like any apps on your phone. So it just groups them together. By doing so, when you're triggering the group, then it lights up all of the accessories that are in the same group. So same thing on the CarPlay screen. So when you're creating a group on your app side, it just mirrors it to the CarPlay screen, and you'll see the exact same group on your CarPlay screen device. Thanks, guys, for joining that workshop today. Keep in touch with our social medias and website for the release date of the ODX Switch. As I explained today, it's a new product. Just to give you a quick heads up, it should be, we're aiming for something around like $120 full retail. So that's something really affordable that you can use everywhere. And like I said, stay tuned. End of November 2024, that should be live. So just stay tuned to our social medias. Thanks, guys.